Now, hopefully, some people show up and we can talk about a whole plethora of things. And you just share my live. I'm reconnecting now, so hopefully. I seem to keep missing people on my lives. Pretty soon, I'm not going to be able to do any live, so I never really get the opportunity to do it. So that is why I am doing it now. I really have to get rid of that thing. Keep getting texts from my kid's old school that he hasn't been in for months, but I never took the texting off. So I keep getting them because I just haven't gone in and took out the number or whatever you were supposed to do. Hello, how are you? What's up? Me, I am doing pretty well. I hopefully am starting a new job in a few days. So, but yeah, hopefully things will work out. There's so many things that I want to do. There's things that I need to do, obviously, first. But once we get past that, I, can do the things that I want to do. I mean, I was also going to do the things that I want to do while I'm doing the things that I need to do. That is a possibility. One should always come first. However, it's not impossible to do both. Just know where your priorities are, or what they should be, is what I should say. But yeah. So I haven't done quite this job before, but it seems like it's possibly similar to other things that I've done. So, hopefully it will go well. Because then in my spare time, I will be able to do other things that I like to do, or that I've been wanting to do. Hello. I was just talking about the fact that I got a new job, and I'm hoping it all goes well. Yeah, I gotta get used to these hours because I've never worked those hours. I've worked those hours through different shifts, but not quite this one. So, it'll take some adjusting, but it's worth it in my opinion. I want to eventually start making crafty stuff to sell. I've seen other people do it, and it just looks, well, obviously it does take work. It does look fun. I like being creative, and there's just so many different ways to do it. Some things I'll probably be better at than others, but it is what it is, I suppose. But I really wanted to get into making resin jewelry because I know at Hobby Lobby they sell resin and resin molds and clay and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I want to make beads and keychains and necklaces and a whole bunch of other creative stuff. There's actually some resin they're selling it at Walmart up, over here where I'm at. which I've never seen before. And I don't remember that being there the last time I was here, but maybe it's just that specific Walmart, I guess. Because I've found clay at Walmart and fabric paints. Oh my god, that's another thing I want to do. But, I found, yeah, like I said, fabric paints and those wood, burning kits that people do for, I forget what it's called. It might even be called wood burning. But, yeah, just a whole bunch of different craft stuff between painting on shirts to baking to wood art. But I never really seen resin there. That was always hard to find. And there was only so much I found also in Hobby Lobby. So, or any other craft store that I might have gone into. I don't remember seeing any at Michael's, but I might have missed it. And it's expensive too. But I'm glad to see it. They don't seem to have a whole lot of like molds there. Um, I did see molds over in the baking section. So I don't know how well that would work for like making keychains and jewelry and stuff like that. But I suppose if it works, it works. I just hope it, works efficiently. If not, I'll have to go to a craft store. But yeah, I mean, that's fine. But things at Walmart might be, slightly cheaper. But who knows? I want to get like clay and those little clay cutters and stuff that makes like different shapes. Because, like I said, I want to make beads. So I want to do like, making beads and stuff and painting them, making resin jewelry. Eventually, I want to get into um, making candles as well, but that takes a lot more in its process. At least from what I've seen on YouTube. And that's a much longer process where you need space for things to cook and cool and, all that other stuff. So that's a project that's going to have to come at a later time. But I want to start out with making, like I said, little keychains, necklaces, maybe earrings and stuff like that. And then eventually I want to move on to like making soap and candles and getting like maybe an Etsy store going. I think that would be just super, super fun. I don't know if anything's ever going to come of it, but I at least want to do things to be creative. I miss being creative. I do. I used to, and I don't even remember how it started, just sometimes I get to the point where I just want to be like creative and do something colorful and fun. And like I said, I don't even remember how it started. Like, I just kind of was, because I got the stuff from Walmart, like I said. I was just kind of there, and then I seen like the fabric paints and like, the t-shirts that they sell, because if you go in Walmart, a lot of times they'll have shirts next to like the fabric paints and stuff. And basically it's for you to use fabric paint on and everything. I guess in a way you could say that the inspiration came from a few YouTubers who have a lot of, or talk about a lot of DIY projects and their creativity and expressions through clothing and the cool ideas that they have had. And I'm like, well, I can do something simple, you know? And uh, so some of these people are actual, like, artists and things, and people who have gone to school, and things look much prettier. Me, I was just looking for something, like I said, fun and expressive. And I really miss doing it. The night owl. Hi! How are you? How's life going? Me? It's going okay. I'm finally getting ready to start a new job. And I am so excited. I just hope that I can do the work and that I can keep the job because I have so many crafty ideas that I want. I'm good. How are you? Doing so much better now. Things are still a little rough, but I'm out of the shelter. I'm currently with my aunt and uncle right now, and of course my son and my mom. Thank you. And oh my God, it was just so hard. Like we went out first to Arizona, and then we I couldn't find a job, and we couldn't pay for the place that we were in anymore. It was like a hotel suite kind of thing, so it was almost like apartments, but you paid like every week for them, like $600-700. And so we moved to California because there was a homeless program there. But I couldn't find any work in California, and our time was coming up, so we moved back to Illinois. And as soon as I came here after a couple of days, we settled, and I filled out a couple of job applications. One was to my uncle's work, which is what I'm going to. And then, like, a gas station. I got two callbacks, like, the next day or so. Like, 7-8 months out there on, I guess you call it the west side, of the country. California, Arizona, 2 states, I couldn't find a job. Well, actually, I had one, but then we couldn't go back because of car issues, so we just went to the shelter. But I only got that because we went through like a staffing agency. Whereas these two jobs I'm talking about was just the jobs themselves. I couldn't find a regular job out there. And it was getting so stressful and scary, and we just came back out here, and just like I thought, I got a job now. Like I took my drug test and I did the background thing because that's required for that job. But you know, I know I'm gonna pass that stuff, so I'm just waiting for the call back. I'm pretty sure they said I should be starting like around the 31st. So just a few days. I'm gonna have to train myself. I've been trying to train myself because the shift is like midnight on. So, but glad you found one. Yes, yes, so am I. Oh my God. So glad. I mean, there's still things to do and get taken care of and stuff, but I feel so much better now that I have a job. It's going to be making good money. It's still going to be a little struggle for a while because, we have to accumulate money to, you know, um, save up for an apartment and stuff. Oh, the graveyard shift. Yeah. Yeah. See, I have worked all those hours on different shifts, especially working at a gas station slash convenience store, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't a gas station, it was a convenience store. You sold gas. But anyways, um, when I first started that job, well, it kind of flip flop, but most of my shifts started at like 4:30 in the morning to like 1:30 in the afternoon. And then after COVID and everything, and like even a little before that, when business kind of went down, it was like 5 and then to 1:30 or sometimes 2. And then the next shift was like 2 or 3 to like 10. And before COVID, we were a 24-hour store. So, I would be there in the morning, somebody would be in the afternoon to take over. And then after that shift was like, it was like 9 or 10. I think the overnight started at 9:30. It was like 9:30 or something like that to 5 in the morning. And then, the first shift would begin again. So I've worked all those hours technically, but not that one. Like the overnight shift there was like 9:10 to like 5:30 in the morning. Whereas this one is like literally the first hour of the day going, into the morning when most people like getting up for school and stuff. So it's a little different, but I think because I've done different shifts and different hours, I'll do okay once I get adjusted to it. Because, like, when you work, like, I don't even want to say fast food because, yeah, it happens in fast food that can suck. But I think the worst hours, at least in my experience from my jobs, was working in a gas station. Um, it just, the hours, right? Because even at fast food and a grocery store, while the hours kind of flip flopped, it was never as crazy. Like, it got crazy busy, crazy customers, but like the scheduling was like the worst with Casey's, the convenience store that I worked at. Because I once worked a morning, an afternoon shift, like, an evening shift, and an overnight shift in the same week. The same week. You know, and it wasn't even that mixed up. So I am so glad to be on a set schedule that I can adjust to, making decent money, good money, at least compared to what I was making. And, that stress is finally gone. That stress of finding a job, one that has set hours, and that, I know I can get to. But I was talking a little earlier that I wanted to start up an Etsy store eventually because I want to make like resin necklaces, like charms, and I want to get like those clay cutters and make like clay beads and stuff. Maybe I'll even mix them. That would be fun, like a resin charm, and then like little beads I make from clay and stuff. And they won't be perfect, but they will be unique. They will be uniquely made by me. And a few years ago, I used to do a thing where I would like take those shirts in like the crafting aisles from Walmart, where they had the fabric paint and everything. And I would just make my version of art, I guess. Um, it's not something I'm very talented at, but I enjoy being creative. So the first one that I did was that I made like little music things on, like music related kind of pictures. Again, they looked very um, childlike, very beginner. And then I wrote like some of my favorite like song lyrics on there. And I don't know what happened to that one. It probably got dirtied and thrown away, but it was one of the first ones that I did. And this wasn't just from like one band or whatever. This was like just random song quotes that I loved. I'm pretty sure I had some Nightwish on there and a couple other ones. I should go find videos. I'm pretty sure somewhere I have videos of that shirt or pictures. But yeah, it wasn't neat. It wasn't elegant handwriting. It was just literally song quotes. And I did them in different colors, and I just loved doing it. Another one that I did, and I never got to finish it. Starting to wonder what happened to all my stuff, but that's what happens when you move. You blue stuff and it gets wrecked and all that stuff, which is disappointing and kind of depressing. But I had this black shirt and I took, I use fabric paint. I know some people on YouTube have done regular paint or acrylic paint. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how you would make the say on clothes because I need to clean my clothes. There's too much going on where I can just wear an outfit just to wear it and not worry about it getting dirty. You know, going outside, um, dinner, dishes, all that stuff. So, like, I want to make sure that I can, like, regularly wash my clothes. But, anyways, yeah, so I use fabric paint to make sure it stays on there. And that's I use fabric markers for that lyric t-shirt. That I should mention that I use fabric markers. But I got like this silver like glittery paint and a white one and some green. I might have been just like a regular green or like a bright green. I think it was regular green. And I kind of like made like a graveyard scene. So I first outlined it and kind of left the outline like poofy, like it wasn't flat, and then I colored in like flatly, if that's a word. I colored in the ghost. I didn't color in the second ghost though. Did I color in the ghost? I thought I colored in at least one ghost. I could be wrong though. I started to color them. I definitely know that I did color in like the tombstones, and they were like a glittery silver, and then I had like the poofy lines for like the grass, and I just had so much fun doing it. I would just sit at the table and make my shirts, and I just miss it. I really do. Hello, got a second person on. How you doing? I'm just talking about my crafting that I've done and how I miss it and the fact that I got a new job coming up. So once everything's settled, I can do more crafts. Because I want to open an Etsy store. I don't think I'll be selling my t-shirts unless somebody's into that kind of like fun, um, childlike artwork. Yeah, because I am no professional by any means. That one is purely done for fun. But I do want to get into jewelry, soap making, candle making, stuff like that. So, how's everybody? What's are you watching anything interesting? Reading anything interesting? Listening to anything new? I have started a new collab channel, and people are welcome to join if anybody is ever interested in. I'm trying to make it where we do kind of the same thing, but you're also free to do other things because not everybody is going to always want to do the same thing. I should tell you by now what it is. So, I have started a collab channel called Popcorn and Earbuds. Mainly focusing on like movie reviews, movie rankings, but also occasionally talking about music, maybe sometimes books and video games as well. So, like, I just put up my top 10 um, standalone animated movies, which is really hard because it seems like a lot of animated movies, especially if they've become popular, they have sequels, whether they are good or not, whether they are good enough for the theaters or direct to video kind of things. Although some have been pretty decent and fun and those kind of things. But it was just so hard. And I know some of these movies, the way they are, eventually that list isn't going to make sense because most likely they will be getting sequels. Whether it be, again, in the theaters or direct-to-video kind of thing. So that was challenging. But I managed to do it. And now I feel that I'm going to have to go and watch a bunch of movies to remember which series that I like now. Because some of them I remember the first, third one or whatever, but you know, some of them, it's been a while. Like, if it was a standalone movie, Lilo and Stitch definitely would have made that last list, but it does actually have sequels, so. And I do remember liking the sequels, but not as much as some other ones. So despite the fact that Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite movies on its own, it's going to go into the eventual top 10 animated movie series. Unfortunately, though, it probably will not be number one, even though the first movie itself would have been number one on another list. But that's how it goes, I guess. So yeah, let me know, what are you guys watching and stuff? Or listening to, or reading? I have not watched a whole lot lately. Last couple of days or so, I have just been on YouTube, having videos in the background, and trying to work on my book, because I want to get these short stories done so I can work on my novel, because I've been doing too many projects at once and they just never get done. So I'm going to finish this one before I start on the other one. It's like, I read multiple books at once, but writing them is a different story, because one gets finished and the other doesn't, at least for me. Cats. Gotta love kitty cats. The book that I'm currently working on is, like I said, short stories. And it was more spooky, supernatural kind of stories. I only have 2 more to go. I have started one. I don't know how long they're going to be. This book isn't going to be very long at all. It's going to be maybe Goosebumps size, maybe not even that. The stories are pretty short, so. But I hope that people will like them. I know that my books are not very long, and eventually I'll get to writing bigger stuff, but I just haven't had anything that's been that long. I do have now 3 books out. So I have one that is called Only Children Dream, which is a book of poetry. I have one called Another World Called Ours, which is short stories. And I just not too long ago put out a book called The Silly Things We Talked About, which is poetry and some artwork and some pictures, like photos, if you will. And that one actually is available on both Amazon as an ebook and a hard copy, like paperback, and it is also on my Ko-fi, which I think I have Ko-fi linked on my channel. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's on my Ko-fi. I can't remember if I put it on Patreon, but I do have a Patreon also. I put that definitely on Ko-fi because somebody already bought it off Ko-fi for me. The ebook is $1, I believe, like $1.99, basically $1. So if you're interested in pictures and poetry, it's not very long. I think it's only like 79 pages or whatever, maybe. And like I said, it's only $1. I'm trying to put more of my stuff here. But anyways, yeah, if you're interested in poetry and stuff like that, I definitely would appreciate people checking it out. I try to make it where it's as cheap as possible with me still getting paid for people to access it, to see if they like my writing and my writing style and what I have to say and all that other stuff. So yeah, just keep in mind that as of right now, I am an indie author. Not a very big one, not one with a whole big collection out there, but I am one. I write under the name of S.E. Dickinson. I'm debating whether or not that I want to keep that name for all my writing projects because I want to do different writing projects. I just feel eclectic in everything that I do. Stop that. Kept like trying to tear up the rug here. Meow. But anyway, I just, like I said, feel eclectic in everything I do. From the books that I read to the music that I listen to, things that I watch. I watch very few things, but still, to, the things that I write. And I want to be able to write different things. Like, I know some people are, especially in writing, are known mainly for one type of thing, and they might venture out, which is fine. I'm fine with, if I focus on one thing or people know me for mainly one thing, but I do want to do other things. But I'm not sure if I should write middle grade or horror or children's books all under the same name. I know some people have, but I've also heard where issues have come up because people will find out that their kid or their grandkid or whatever likes a certain series or whatever, and they will find a book by that same author, not knowing that while their grandkid or whatever read a book that was intended for teenagers or a middle grade book for like kids in elementary school, they won't know that that book that they're buying now is for adults. I've heard that happen where they just find out that they like the series or whatever, and that series might be meant for kids, but the author has written something for adults too. And so they just pick up the book because they don't have that book, and they're just thinking, okay, I know they like this book, they might like this other book by this author, which isn't their fault, because people buy gifts and things based on what they know people like usually. And sometimes it kind of turns out disastrous because it turns out that what they got is not appropriate for that age, or they're just not ready for that. It might have more adult themes. It might have something about violence or war or something they're not quite ready for yet. So I've been kind of debating, you know, using just one name. On one hand, obviously it's easier, you know, but I'm thinking of the benefits of having multiple pen names.
Have they come on yet?
Some people have, yeah. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Should I just stick with one name for everything, or should I change it up a little bit for different things that I'm writing? So far, my poetry book, or my 2 poetry books now, and my 1 short story book, which my short stories are more, at least for that book, is more YA, whereas this next one is more mature. So I'm setting this one for adults. I know people say that like new adult is not a thing, but most of the characters are gonna be like in their early 20s and 30s, like I am. So that's more of an adult book, but like adult like my age. So I don't know if I should keep the same name on all of them because they are at different, you know, ranges and stuff. And there's also the fact that they're different genres. Well, I want to submit some stuff to something called Raventail Publishing, which is more like horror, creature features, and stuff like that. And that's where I want to start my novel because I want to do like a Goosebumps type thing for like adults, like something like fun like that, but you know, for grown-ups. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I want to start that and try to send that to like an actual publisher. I also have ideas for young adult slice of life / contemporary type books. You know, John Green-ish kind of stuff. You know, those type of books. But I also want to do like middle grade fun fantasy kind of things, or even just contemporary stories. Um, that would be more Kate DiCamillo kind of stuff, or R.L. Stein kind of things. Again, Goosebumps inspiration. So there's just so many different things that I want to write, and like so many different styles that I like. Obviously, things that I write would be my own ideas and style and everything, but just giving you a general idea of the things that I like and kind of things that I would like to write. So yeah, I want to write horror and poetry and YA contemporary, sci-fi dystopia, and um, what other genres do I like? I don't know. Not really big on romance unless it's like mixed into the plot there. But you know, some of my favorite books are, of course, um, Zombies versus Unicorns, which is an anthology, The Hunger Games, The Giver, Battle Royale, Beauty Queens, The Fault in Our Stars, stuff like that. So, very character driven books with good plots to back them up. That's really what I like. And hopefully, I can write stuff like that. So, my battery is going down. I had to plug up pretty soon. So, my battery is gonna die pretty soon. It was fun talking to everyone. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what's going on with you, what's new, what do you know, all that good stuff. What have you been doing, watching, listening to, etc. Anyways,
Goodbye, everybody.
thanks for watching, and I'd stay on, but I had to plug on my phone. Alright, bye everyone.
Everybody. Have a good day.
Bye everybody.